Well, in today's activity we've got another little Snipe, Super Snipe home market car, and it needs another engine, a replacement engine. This one's not too bad, it's still standard size, it's never been apart, but it's just about got to the end of the road. So we pulled the head off, broke a stud, and I just thought, you know what, we'll have another engine in there. I've got 2 or 3 in stock. It's a nice little thing. It's a black one. It's got its Winkworth bell, so it's straight off the set of the blue lamp, and there's a wireless control head in the dashboard. Floor's out, so I'm ready to undo the bell housing. I've just got to get the front sheet metal off and we can do a bit of engine juggling. So that'll be the rest of today's activity, and it's a lovely day, so that's what we're doing. Look out for some more videos when I start putting it back together. So the front sheet metal's off, and here it is, and it's all unbolted, and we should be able to lift it away. I've got a Victorian, no, probably a Edwardian jack under the gearbox, one of those ratchet jacks that I really like. And I'm going to hand this telephone to Constance, and then we'll see if we can take the engine out. Leave the gearbox where it is. So it's slightly more awkward than it needs to be because it's got the post 1948 crankshaft dampener on it, which is too big for this car. And we also know it's not the original engine for this car because it's got the after 1948 oil pump on it. So it's not the original motor. So I don't need to be too worried about matching numbers or anything like that. Just got to persuade this forward a bit, and it can. And I hope, with a bit of encouragement, it might come out. It's coming, but it's only really force of habit keeping it where it is. Yeah, it's moved a little bit. It's moved a little bit. So we'll just keep persuading it. And eventually it'll come out. I might lower that a little bit more again. Just thus. And then lift it up again. And it really hasn't got very far to go because it's got less than ½ an inch in front of the engine. But just having a little moment of sharp wonder. Don't blame it, it's been there a long time, I expect. I might just also lift the gearbox a tiny bit because it's sort of not very even. Perhaps have another click on the jack and just, there we are, we're out. So we've got a big gap, and there's the flywheel ring gear, so it's come forward about 1.75 inches or something like that. And now I'm going to have to lift the front a bit more, and then it can come clear of the back. And this weighs, I don't know, about 1/4 of a tonne, I suppose. So don't do this at home because I have got my workshop safety slippers on. And you sure as hell wouldn't want this on your foot. But that can go down now. Back on the police car this morning, and here we've got our replacement engine. It's not new, it's not rebuilt freshly, it's what's called an MRU. Now we took this out of a Mark III Pullman that had gone beyond the pale and was off round the banger track. And I don't really understand the banger track mentality, but I'm really quite grateful to some of those boys for letting me harvest parts that will allow other cars to continue to live. because I mean that Pullman really was way beyond the point where it was even doable. Never mind what it was worth and whether it was worth it. But an MRU, military replacement unit, this would have been rebuilt by the REMI when the REMI still looked after its own vehicles and it wasn't all out to government contracts. So back in the early 50s. And the thing that tells me, well, there are 2 or 3 things that tell me this is an MRU. Firstly, it's a military engine. It's got the military oil filler, which didn't go on any civilian cars from the factory. It's also got these 2 little fellows, which are little self-tapping set screws, which are where the REMI bolted their rebuild plate on, which told you what was inside the engine, sort of undersizes and oversizes and things like that. And that's long gone, but the telltale is still there. You can also see bits of O'Donnell paint on it from when it was in a military vehicle. They fitted a post-war oil pump on it. Would have been done in the early 50s, so they came out in 48. Not a bad idea. They had twice the capacity of the earlier one, so I would fit one of those if I were rebuilding it. But it is the right engine for the car in that it doesn't have a crankshaft dampener. It has an ordinary pulley on the front, which will make it much easier to get it in and out. It's not exactly what you'd call a thing of beauty, but it was running nicely when it came out of the Pullman. So it should be good. I'm going to give it some nice shiny new core plugs for the back of the block just here, because once they're in the car you can't get to them. And I'm going to drop the clutch off and make sure that's all right before we put it in. But we've got high hopes for this one. It was running nicely when it came out of the Pullman, so with a bit of luck, either later this afternoon or tomorrow, this will be back to being a running car. Hurrah! Just moved my everyday Snipe out of the way so that I can take you for a walk around that. Now we've finished it, and then we can perhaps take it for a little test run, see how it goes. So, out we get. And we'll have a little walk around it. It's got its Winkworth bell and its blackout mask on the front. I haven't painted the bumpers and things because the next person who has it may not want to play at soldiers and play at World War II and play at policemen and things. So I've left it pretty much as is. It's been in storage for a long time, but it's not looking bad on it, really. Immaculate, no, but you know, it could be cleaned up and it would come up quite nicely. They're a nice little car. They don't come up very often, really. They were the fastest production steel saloon in the world when they came out in 1938, bar none. And which is why royalty and cabinet ministers and field marshals and people use them. But they're a nice, comfy little car that keeps up in modern traffic, and you don't need to be ashamed of yourself or hold anybody up. So we'll have a quick look inside it. It's a little bit mothy, but then what do you expect for sort of 85 years old or something? But it is pretty much on the button. And it's running nice oil pressure. And I ran it for about half an hour yesterday, and it didn't go over 75 degrees, even stationary, just standing about. So there's a radio control head in it. It is a dummy. I don't think this was ever a police car, but it's a pretty good facsimile of one, sort of just walking around it. What is interesting about it is it's an Irish car. It was sold new in Ireland. And I'll see if I can find one and get close enough to it. Look, here we go. On the glass just there, don't know if my phone will focus on it, but there's a little shamrock etched on each piece of glass. So that was sold new in Southern Ireland. So we'll take it out for a little run. So that's it. I'm happy with that. It's what I would call a fettling project. It runs, it drives, it stops, it charges its own battery, all of those things. It just needs somebody to love it and drive it in ever increasing circles whilst fixing the odd little thing that will undoubtedly go wrong. But hopefully by next summer it should be in a condition whereby somebody can really enjoy it. So it is for sale now. I haven't advertised it yet, but if anybody would like it, do please get in touch, and yeah, it'll be out there on Facebook and Millweb and everything else in due course. Okay, folk, that's enough.